Hi guys! So I'm filming this video part 2 while the first video is uploading. It's multitasking. So this is hopefully going to be a quick video, because when I say it's going to be a quick video it always ends up being over 20 minutes. And it's basically going to be me kind of talking about how I can't decide whether to do project planning in my notebook or in my Midori, because my Midori, I've shown you it. I made a video, I think it was on Saturday. Anyway, it's one of my most recent videos, showing you what's in my Midori. Basically, I have my diary, my organisation section and my journal. And so in my organisation section I have my current lists, which are all of the things that are happening in my life at the moment in list form. Just a quick list, not broken down into steps or anything, just in list form. And then I have a section that is developing, but it's got hobby to-do lists at the moment. And then I've got my diary, which is specifically for to-dos for this, today, this week, this month. And then I've got my notebook, which I've just done a video on. It's part 1 of this video. It's not a trilogy. What's a 2-part thing called? I don't know, but this 2-part set of video where I have lots and lots and lots of random things in this notebook. But one of the things that I do have, that I have used this notebook for, is, let me find one, project planning. Here is a project plan page. It's for my friend's birthday present. I hope she's not watching this. I don't think she will be, but it's for, I'm making something for her birthday, and it's for ideas and lists and just random stuff to do with that present that I'm making. And you can have anything projects, relevant projects written down. It doesn't have to be things you're making, it might be things you're doing or things that you're planning for, like a holiday or anything like that. Projects. A project is, if you don't know kind of what we term a project in the planner world, a to-do is a one-step action. A project is something with multiple steps. So it might be as simple as now I've got to think of something. Organising a cupboard in a kitchen, and it might be as simple as take stuff out and clean it, clean the surfaces, put things back in a specific order. Now, because that is multi-step, and also because it takes a bit of time, it's kind of like a project. It's not a major project, it's not a long-term project, and it's not an ongoing project. But those are the sort of different types of. You can have a major project that takes a long time, or it takes a lot of energy, or it takes a lot of steps. You can have an ongoing project which you can't get done in one go, or you can have a long-term project which you can plan well in advance, but you're going to be doing it in the future a long time from now, all in one go, as opposed to ongoing, which is you doing bits and bobs now until you eventually have the final. All of these projects have a final end achievement. The present one, the present will be finished and posted off. Something like planning a holiday, you will have booked the holiday and you will go on the holiday. The cupboard thing, you will have cleaned and organised the cupboard. They've all got a finite end point. That's a project. Anyway, so I have been doing, there's only a few projects in here, but I have been doing them in this notebook. But now that I've kind of got my Midori planner almost finished, but I've got this third section, this section here, with kind of the space for projects. I don't know whether to have my projects in that notebook or in my Midori. And it kind of, I like having them in the notebook because I have all the random stuff in here. And the reason why I like this notebook so much, I have explained in the previous video, but I forgot to say it in that video. It's A5, which is my ideal size. A4 is too big for me. Anything smaller is a bit too small. A5 is perfect. And the Midori has the A5 height, but it's narrower width. The A5 is perfect because I can do diagrams, I can do drawings, I can do lists on, you know, in a column and then notes in another column. I can just spread. I can do a 2-page spread and it's A4 size and it's just perfect. I think that the long, narrow size of a Midori, just this page width here, is better for lists, which is why I think it's good for to-do lists, because you can just do bullet points down the page and it's a list. Now if I have my projects broken down step by step, I could quite happily put them in my Midori, but I think if I've got the lists in here for my project, shouldn't I have the project notes in here? I shouldn't really have them in 2 places. Rory from Rory Rants says that your planner should be one book to rule them all, which I love. I love that idea. I love the idea that you can have everything you need in this here. And this notebook, I don't need it with me all the time. I can quite easily leave it at home when I'm going out. It's just a place to write random stuff, and a place for information, and a place for lists that I don't need with me all the time. I have a section in my Midori, a little Moleskine address book, where I write down the reference information that I do need with me all the time, like the important phone numbers, just in case my phone, something happens to it and I don't have my phone. I can go to a phone box and call my dad's work number, or call my grandma or something. Numbers that I don't remember in my head, they can go in my Midori. But the stuff in here I don't need with me all the time. And okay, I don't need all those project notes with me all the time, and my Midori goes everywhere with me and it goes in my handbag, but it's kind of like a safety blanket that I do like it in here, and I do like it with me all the time, and that when I have sort of 5 minutes to sit down and do nothing, I can just flick through my Midori and I can see what I have in my life at the moment and feel more organised and feel more content because I have everything written down. And so I'm kind of, logic says, my head says, write it in here, because it should be a book for everything. Everything should be in here. If you've got your to-do list for your hobbies, which could go in here, but I like the idea of them in here, and I have started writing them in here, and I do think that if my weekly, monthly and daily to-dos are in here, then my hobby to-dos, and what happens is I plan to do something in an evening and I just write down Egyptology, and then I go and look at my Egyptology list to know what to-dos I've got to do. If my hobbies and stuff to-do lists are in here, then shouldn't my project to-do lists be in here? So therefore my project note shouldn't be in here, that should be in here. So that's what my head is saying. My head is saying everything in one book, organise it logically. My heart is saying, but I love my notebook, and if I don't have my project things in here, am I going to stop using my notebook? Am I going to not have it with me all the time and not open it very often and not use it daily? Because if I start using it less and less and taking things out of it and putting it in my Midori, I'll stop using my notebook. And I really love my notebook. I really love my notebook. I don't want to stop using it. And I've already started thinking of how I can stop using my notebook and start putting it in my Midori, because it's just more logical that I have everything in my notebook. And I've started thinking that maybe my journal isn't working for me because I'm not writing in it daily. I'm just not a journal person. So I've thought, well, what should I have in as my third notebook instead of my journal? And one of the options was a bullet journal, which is a whole nother thing. But I could have the stuff that's in here instead. And so I'm starting to think that would make sense in my Midori, to have project planning, random notes, random lists. It wouldn't be in a proper Midori notebook. It wouldn't be in a bound notebook, one of the expensive £4.50 proper Midori notebooks. It would be, like I've got with this paper, it would be loose leaf paper fixed in with the elastic, that I can take the stuff out when I don't need it. When that random list isn't needed anymore, when the random notes are gone and just I don't need them, I can take them out. So I'm not worried about having a superfluous load of pages in there, because I can add pages and take pages out as I need to. And I'm not worried about wasting a notebook, which is, when a notebook costs £4.50, that is something that I don't want to start a notebook for having no purpose or stopping using it eventually. It makes sense in my head that I should have everything in here. So I've gone from using my notebook really happily to I should have project lists in here, to I should completely stop using my notebook, which I love, and putting it all in my Midori because it's everything in one book. This is what happens in my head. This is why more than half of the notes in my notebook are me putting my ideas and issues about planners and where things should go in my notebook, because it's what my brain is worrying about quite often, because I do try to get a system that works for me so that I can stop worrying about it eventually and just get on with my life and do my hobbies and my projects and my academic work and enjoy my life and stop worrying about it. But now I'm worrying about my notebooks, and it's ongoing. Anyway, what do you think I should do? I know there's some die-hard planner fans that will say, why are you using a separate notebook? You should have everything in your Midori. And then there will be the practical people amongst you that will say, it's an extra thing to carry around. One day you're going to forget it when you need it. It weighs a lot in your handbag with this as well, and that does actually weigh quite a lot. Put it in your Midori. You should have everything in there because it's logical that everything should be in there. And then there's going to be the romantic, sentimental people of you who say, use your notebook, you love your notebook. And I'm between the three of you. I don't know what to do. I don't want to stop using my notebook. My heart says use it. My heart says love it. My head says put everything in your Midori. What should I do? Help me. Anyway, that was a very pointless video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching all my videos. I don't know why you do, because I just waffle. Yes, thank you for watching, and I look forward to reading your comments.